Alright, Lander, so today we did get some new resurrection news for our next set of resurrectable characters. The expectation going into this month, given our most recent Burn the Witch banner, would be that maybe finally we would get Burn the Witch resurrections. We aren't getting that, unfortunately, but at the same time we are kind of getting a surprise because the movie characters from 2021 are getting resurrected. Kokuto, Dark Rukia, and KUSAKA are about to receive their upgrades, and then I guess maybe in 2 weeks time, maybe next month, the final movie banner that we ever have received should also be getting the upgrade with Shuren and also Senna. Now personally, I'm kind of excited about this because one, ignoring the new character that I've yet to resurrect, these are pretty much like the oldest characters that I'm missing. And that's in a way why I kind of don't want more movie characters, even though some people might want it. It's true because if you don't pull for the characters, you're never going to get them because they don't ever become fillers because they only get put into movie summons. And I'm not pulling for movie characters, especially years after their initial release. So even as someone like me that has done a pretty good job at collecting most characters in the game, I just don't have these characters. Even the original 4 rounds of movie banners I never pulled besides getting them from the character packs when they resurrected. So pretty cool nonetheless to see them resurrected. Would have again loved to have seen Burn the Witch. No idea what the plan is for that. Hopefully that happens sometime soon because right now Burn the Witch characters are the oldest characters in the game that have yet to resurrect. With that said though, let's have a look at the resurrectable characters. Firstly, let's see what the characters do have initially. So first up, Rukia is a 12% recharge soul trait. And given that these are movie characters, I'm expecting the quality to be very similar to Khan for Your World and 1000 Year Blood War. Probably going to get some good soul traits here, probably get some good upgrades. Soul trait, for example, more damage at full stamina, maybe in this case more damage to weakened enemies, or just strong attack damage. When it comes to the damage output, noticeably here Rukia only has Frenzy +1. I'm expecting Frenzy +2, because that kind of now seems the norm, even for premium characters. Can we even get any other skills? Because she does have an innate skill, so she might get an additional one. Some way, shape, or form, I would love to see the character pick up a spiritual pressure boost, because she is also one of the few characters that already have an increased status chance built into the character, in this case against power attribute Soribus. It's awfully specific, but you know, that compared to more... But that paired with more damage to weakened enemies, Frenzy +2, a hypothetical spiritual pressure boost, and also more Berserker wouldn't honestly be too bad. So having a look at Rukia, and again, shout out to MolyPrim for datamining these. So first up, innate skill soul trait, is actually a really good soul trait, recharge, and also more full stamina damage. Strong attack damage when at full stamina is probably the best type of soul trait you can get, and also noticeably here, it is a 22% increase, so it's 2% higher. It's an enhanced resurrection soul trait, and that already makes her one of the best links in the speed attribute, which is access to some pretty good soul traits. You know, right now, in terms of EX skills, we do have the Anniversary Rukia offering recharge and also a spiritual pressure boost. So funny enough, most builds nowadays might consist of 2 Rukias. Dark Rukia and Anniversary Rukia. When it comes to the skills, what are we looking at here? So we did get the Frenzy +2, no spiritual pressure boost, unfortunately, but we also do get more damage to weakened enemies. I believe that went up by 10%, and strong attack damage also went up by quite a good amount, around 50%. Again, that's kind of right now the standard from what we have been seeing with resurrections. But this is a good standard to have. Like, they are honestly getting really good now. Still a far way off. I don't think we'll ever get to that point where resurrections are, you know, end of month standards, new character standards, but this is a good upgrade. She picked up a whole new frenzy. She got like 50% more strong attack damage, more weakened damage, and then also more strong attack damage when at full stamina. Did she pick up any other skills? I'm not too sure. Maybe guard break wasn't built into the character. Let's just quickly check. She does... No, she had the nullify range resistance, but she never had guard break built in, so that's something I didn't actually know. So that, in a way, is also a quality of life skill, technically also increasing her damage output because she doesn't now need to break guards. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good resurrection. I'm actually really happy about the soul trait, and as someone that doesn't own her, I'm definitely going to be more inclined now to pick her up through the character pack for the soul trait, and also the fact that it's a new character for me, and extra orbs upon resurrecting. Also, I'm pretty sure this character is a no affiliation. Yeah, she's a no affiliation character. So eventually, when I get around to doing the no affiliation resurrection challenge in Senkamon, I mean, this character would be great to have. Next up, after that, we have Kokuto. This is one of the few characters that I was happy to get more movie banners because the original Kokuto did not look like this. He had him all bandaged up. based on his initial appearance, right? So when it comes to his soul trait, I'm probably expecting him to go down the link shot route, because that's kind of been the trend where the character, if they have +5 link shot potions, they pick up an additional 4 through the soul trait, but this skill gets increased to +6, turning them into a +10 farmer, but also a potential good soul trait too. So while I would also love for a good potential strong attack damage like Rukia did get, I'm probably expecting him to go down the link shot route. And then in terms of damage output, probably see similar numbers here, Frenzy +2, maybe a Berserker increase, most likely, right? The character's Havoc, he has Guard Break, and then when it comes to this, no innate abilities, so he's actually going to pick up some extra skills when compared to Rukia, who already had 2 built-in innate skills. I kind of forget that was a trend around this time. Innate skills were still technically new. Nowadays, everyone gets 3 innate skills, right? But apparently back in 2021, only 1 character in the banner would even pick up innate skills. Or maybe 2. Either way, Kokuto didn't, which should make his resurrection a tad bit better. So let's have a look. Scrolling down, so first up, the soul trait is indeed recharge and also link shot potions. So that will overall make him a +10 link shot farmer, as we can see that also went up by +6, or plus an additional 1. Now with that, his innate skill is Sprinter, Guard Break, and also Poison. I believe the Poison is new. Guard Break and Sprinter got moved up to here to give him potential more bonus damage. So in this case, he does pick up Frenzy +2 again. That right now seems to be the norm. He also does have a 50% strong attack damage increase, so not as high as Rukia's, but I guess it's balanced out because he now has a Team Party buff where power attribute characters' strong attack damage is getting increased by 20%. So with this particular soul trait, not that good. I guess it's nice, but Ururu, the characterizer version, does exist, and she basically gives the same buff and better. Now, this buff isn't that good because it doesn't stack with the Mugetsu soul trait. If this was power no affiliation, for example, it would stack, but you know, the swimsuit Noelle does exist and basically gives that, right, to every no affiliation character. So I guess that's alright. Maybe some people would get a use out of that, but I think we have plenty of power buffers. I don't think this is anything super crazy, but nonetheless, you know, more damage, Frenzy +2, more Berserker, also became a better link shot farmer, while also increasing the droplet drop rate by 24%. That's actually not too bad. Again, there are plenty of other great farmers out there better than this, but for a resurrection, it's made him a really good farmer, I think. I think this is also a pretty good resurrection. Would I ever use the soul trait? No, but I could see the use of it. But in general, I'm really liking the damage buffs they are getting here, Frenzy +2 and a good Berserker value. It's good. I just want to start seeing the spiritual pressure boost now. We're getting there. You know, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. And then lastly, we have KUSAKA. He, for the most part, was the highlight character of the banner, the one that stood out the most, and the one that everyone was trying to summon for, especially right before the 6th anniversary. So when it comes to his soul trait, let's go 3 for 3. Good soul traits, let's get more damage at full stamina. I think the technique attribute needs it the most. Hopefully they don't go down the route of giving him more damage to frozen enemies through a soul trait, because again, tech just needs good soul traits. Nini also could have been that. She's an enhanced soul trait, so I would have preferred Nini getting resurrected, but maybe they have plans for that in the future, we'll see. But when it comes to the skills that we have here, we have Frenzy +1, a 20% Berserker, so that's going to get further increased and also pick up Frenzy +2. I would like to see this particular technique, sorry, but damage buff, get increased to 40%, because this in of itself isn't really bad. I just want to see 40%, it'd be a lot better. Because that right now is the standard for the most part. Even for his time, maybe it was on the lower side. And since he's based around inflicting status, maybe an increased status chance would be nice. When it comes to his soul tree, he only does have 1 innate skill. So we're probably going to see Havoc and also Sprinter get moved up to the innate skills to give him more space for damage abilities that you otherwise don't get in the innate skill section. So let's see it. So first up, damn, what a good soul trait. We have 3 for 3 soul traits. I mean, technically, Kokuto's isn't really the greatest, but for the type of character he is, a farming character, I would say we have 3 for 3 really good soul traits, which is what you want to see for a character like this, a movie character, right? But just like Rukia, more strong attack damage at full stamina at 22%. Really good soul trait. When it comes to his skills, what do we have here? So we do have the increased status chance, so that's actually nice to see. In this case, super specific speed attribute sweepers. We've seen with characters like Ginzaru that he can get increased status chance to every speed character. I think I would have preferred that. I also wouldn't have disliked just sweepers in general. So this is kind of like the worst case scenario when it comes to an increased status chance, but it's still good to get nonetheless. With that, the character did get Frenzy +2. His damage to frozen enemies also went up by 10%. His strong attack damage went up by 50%. So kind of like similar skills here across the board, which isn't too bad. And then unfortunately, I would have loved to have seen this damage increase get up to 40%. It did get increased, which is nice, but I would have loved to have seen an extra 10%. That would have made him a pretty decent buffer at the very least. But then again, Technique does have access to, Swimsuit Jushiro, so it's not like we're missing it. It's fine. But an additional character giving good supports would have been nice to see too. So overall, I'm actually fairly impressed with this resurrection batch. Again, personally, I'm just happy to see these characters resurrect because I've been waiting for them to resurrect to pick up their character packs to then own their characters because I just don't own them. And it's nice to see I'm getting a bit more value because 3 of the character soldiers are really good here. It's nice to see the standard for resurrections are at the very least now Frenzy +2 and a good Berserker value. So like I said already, we're getting there. We're getting to a good point, a good standard for resurrections. I would just love to see, the spiritual pressure boost more consistent now. We've seen characters with the SP boost. Aura, for example, last month or the month prior, got a spiritual pressure boost and also Frenzy +2. So it's happening. I just want to see it more often. But if you do own these characters, they will be getting the upgrades in 2 weeks' time on the 13th. That's extra orbs and also good soul traits. If you don't own them, you can buy them in a character pack in a month's time. That's personally what I'll be doing. And then in terms of our next resurrection batch, if we actually sort by a resurrection possible, again, because 3 characters don't resurrect right now, the oldest characters are actually Burn the Witch. So that would have been more appropriate. I would have preferred Burn the Witch right now. At the very least, it's not just a premium banner. I do at the very least like that, the movie characters are getting the upgrades. But, maybe they have plans to resurrect Nini in the Well at another time. Maybe when another Burn the Witch banner does happen, potentially, later this year, right? At the same time, maybe we're thinking too much about it. Is movie characters resurrected now mean new movie characters for mid-month? I don't know. And also, what's the next resurrection batch? Are we going to get back-to-back movies? Does that mean in 2 weeks' time we're going to get Shiren and also Senna, potentially? If not, though, again, if it is going to be a premium batch, it will be the Zanpakuto characters. And then with that, next month will likely be Senna and Shiren, and then also the Redux character of Yoruichi Soifon, and then also Nanao. But we are all getting super close to Spirits of With You resurrecting later this year, and also finally 6th anniversary. And then eventually, after Safui continuously gets resurrected, we are going to get to a point where the 80% spiritual pressure boost is just built into a lot of characters, and even just picking up Frenzy +2 and a Berserker increase is overall going to be a good upgrade. So we're kind of getting to a good point for characters resurrected. I'm excited to see some of these future resurrections. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the characters' resurrections in the comments below. Do you own them? I'm curious to know. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.